Right, hiya. It's been a long time. Did I want to film this video? Yes. Did I put makeup on for this video? Yes. And I'm still doing it now. I'm not going to act like I've got my shit together because I really am. I've got joggers on that I shrunk in the wash and an oversized t-shirt, but we move. You can watch me get ready to go nowhere. So, it's 2021 and I've been gone a couple of months. I mean, 2020 was a mental year for everyone. I still managed to end up in 3 countries, get evicted from one. Say evicted? What's the word? It's not departed. Basically, get out of the country. My nose piercing looks like I've got a bogey. Basically, get out of the country or you're going to get trapped. So, I don't really know where to start. Loads has happened. And only yesterday I decided to cut my hair off. And it looks like this because I've just been in the snow with my nieces because for some reason it's really snowy outside, so yeah, and the child in me was screaming, so we went out. So if we're going to do a proper catch up, we might as well start from January 2020. If I was a blusher, where would I be? Here we are. January 2020, I worked at Next. Hated it. They were horrible to me. They were all about you work my shift whilst I go to the Christmas do, because you are invited. I was like, right, doing Amazon parcels and God knows what else, all whilst not being told when I can have a break and work in a shift, almost to the end where my 15-minute break after 6 hours I took at the end of my shift, so I sat and waited to leave. So that happened. I left there on my last day. I went, alright, bye guys, handed my badge in, and they all were like, where are you going? I was like, well, it's my last shift. They were like, alright, I didn't know, see ya. Alright guys, I'll see you as well. I got ready because I was leaving to go to Tenerife to be a supervisor of a big aerial adventure course in a massive hotel. So I did that, and then COVID came, your best mate COVID, and long story short, after telling guests, oh sorry, you can't enjoy your holiday because you have to stay in your room and be bored all day because there's a virus. Fair enough, there's a virus, but paying all that money and having to tell them stay in your room. Come on, what? Do you think they're going to listen to me? They all got sent home, and then they were like, oh, we need to send you guys home too before I want to say the 18th. So they were like, oh my god, we need to send you home, we need to get you home, da 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 da. Like proper going in, and I was like, for God's sake, I'm happily stay here, you can pay me to be here. Anyway, they got us home, but they got us home and we left some guests in the hotel. Like, we was only there to look after the course, but it was kind of just like, everyone get your shit, we're going, see you later. I really enjoyed Tenerife though. It's just a shame that I was supposed to be there till April, but I had to come home. So I came home, got a job at good old Tesco, love a bit of retail. To be honest with you, I was really nervous for Tesco because after my experience with Next, I was like, I really don't want to do this. But they hired me to be a hygienist, so basically they give me a packet of wipes and I went and wiped down freezer handles and checkouts. So it was kind of like a bit like, alright. And then they trained me on the tills, so that was good. Because I'll waffle on to anyone. And I was on the tills and I was just chatting away. I think that was my calling. Joke. They moved me from checkouts. Oh, didn't tell you. I was on the door with the security because it was like a 1 person per household thing. Long story short, they said they was exempt, but I didn't know why and they had no proof, so the security guard was like, you can't come in. Long story short, they threatened to kill me, lunged for me and swung a right hook, but it didn't hit me. The police came, I didn't write a statement, and I got sent home from work. And then they moved me onto a different department, and I really enjoyed that. And then I got a phone call saying, look, you're going to Mallorca in 3 days, so get your stuff, we're off. So we're like, what? So I went into work with a really ratty notice that I'd copy and pasted off of the internet, because I'd never wrote a notice in my life. I've never actually like really left a job. Kind of just disappeared. Well, I left next, but like, you know what I mean. So I gave him my notice and I said, I know I told you I'd give you at least a week, but here's 3 days, I'm off. And then I left Tesco, left all my friends that I'd met. So I was in Mallorca, we set up a full hotel, boom. 3 weeks later, close the hotel, you're going home. I was like, not again, not again. Left Mallorca and then was jobless. So I was like, right, okay, but I was due, let me unplug these. I was due a wage, so I wasn't worrying. Now in May I had to put my dog to sleep. I can't talk about it. It's literally January and I can't talk about it. Yeah, I can't go into it because I still cry about it now. But a month later, because my mum was really struggling, we adopted another dog. And it wasn't to replace my old dog, but we adopted him. He was from a home with a guy that had severe mental health problems, and he saw things, and I don't know. The new dog's called Benji, and honestly, we don't know what Benji's been through, but he's a very timid dog. He was also mauled by an Akita before we got him. And we had to end up paying. Apparently his wounds were healed, but then they all got infected when we got him. So it's cost us a bloody fortune. But we love him. It's not quite sunny, but I still love him. So I didn't have a job. I had an interview for a picking job at the food warehouse, just because I've really enjoyed picking people's food. I don't really understand why, but I did. So they wanted me to work for them, and then I think it was a day before they rung me. I had a phone call saying, hello. I was like, hi. Right, okay, so you can go to Cyprus in 2 days. What? Yeah, so the Cyprus hotel's opening back up in 2 days. So tomorrow, we're going to pay for it, but tomorrow you'll go to Liverpool to have a COVID test. We'll pay for it all. We'll refund your money on your journey to and from Liverpool, and you'll fly to Cyprus on Thursday. So I was like, and I ended up in Cyprus for 2 months, which brings me to like the 1st of November. But I did Cyprus September, October, and I loved it. Cyprus is beautiful. It was very, very hit or miss, the hotel, like with guests. Very, very quiet, and then there was talks of going home, but we lasted. We got there. My friends, some of them flew home on the 31st of October and they didn't have to quarantine. I flew home on the 1st of November. I had to quarantine because they decided that on the 1st of November COVID was important and then you had to quarantine. But like a week or 2 before leaving Cyprus, where am I going with this? I applied for a job at Tesco again, just because it's easy, it's near me, whatever. I got the job. They was like, oh, you can start straight away, and I was like, well, actually, just a heads up, they decided to change the rules again, bloody government. You have to stay inside for 2 weeks. So I was like, you fucking prick. So I had to quarantine, but they saved the position for me. Yeah, and now I'm drinking tea to make it look like I'm so chill. So now we're at December. Now it was the 1st week or the 2nd week of December. After 2.5 years fit free, boom, epilepsy decides to come and bite me on the... So I had a fit. After 2.5 years, I was literally ready to learn to drive. As soon as COVID calmed down, I sort my life out. And then I have an epileptic fit. And I hate them, because have you ever had someone try tell you that you've done something that you know you haven't? Like, try having someone tell you you've done something that you have done but you can't remember. Like, it's horrible, and then I forget things, and I notice now that I trip up on my words. So yeah, had a fit, you know, whatever. I don't like telling people, because like if I had not had one in 2.5 years, it's like, oh, I don't need to talk about it, whatever. But I had to go back to work and tell them, oh, you know, I'm actually a little bit of a mong, so will you just keep an eye out on me if anything happens. I hate it. It's so like, what's the word? It makes me feel useless. The new year comes, you know, a couple of bevies, you know, watch the fireworks or not. You can see the new year in with COVID, Jess. It's taken me, I've had all year travelling the world, doing this, doing that, working in supermarkets with like dirty people, whatever. But no, COVID decides to get me on New Year's Day. From Christmas Eve to after New Year's Day, I was like, I wasn't bad, I couldn't taste, I couldn't smell. Some things I still can't taste or smell. And every time I stood up, I was like lethargic, so I'd like want to fall over, and I'd go really dizzy to like where I'd have to hold on to something and be like, right, I'm gonna pass out. So I wasn't like bed bound, I was bedroom bound, because obviously for the safety. So like I'd go downstairs for a drink or whatever, and just kind of stay away from my family. Me, the fatty that I am, had a Chinese, and I thought, I can't taste this. And you know how many like spices are in a Chinese, and I was like, there's just nothing. And then I was like, I'm gonna have to do a test. So I ended up doing 2 tests because one went missing. Pretty much the worst night that I had COVID was New Year's Eve to New Year's Day. I heard the fireworks, but I was like drifting in and out of sleep. It was like I was delusional. I could hear fireworks at midnight, but I couldn't get physically off my bed to look out the window. It's literally there, bed, window, and I couldn't move. So that was horrible. During the whole COVID thing, I was told I had sciatica and I was suffering really bad. So everything just kind of came at once, really. And then the new year came, you know, new year, new me, all that stuff. And boom, you have another epileptic fit, Jess. But this time it won't be a convulsing one. It'll be one where you're fully awake, but you just forget everything, who you are, what you're doing, and throw up everywhere. At the end of every year, I make a video of my year. Basically everything that I've done, all the exciting bits, I always make an end of year video. I've been that like, what's the word, deflated maybe, that I've always opened up the video editor and just gone, no, I can't be bothered. I just can't concentrate. So it's kind of like why I haven't made one of these videos, because I'm just like, no, I can't be bothered. And it's not because I'm lazy, I just feel like with everything that's going on in the world, it's just like, what's the point? And I've kind of got a love-hate relationship with YouTube, because I have enough subscribers like that anyone could ask for. Obviously I'd love more, but I have more than enough, but I don't reach my audience. So I feel like I make videos and they just don't go anywhere. So I am making, slowly but surely, whatever, my end of year video. I started it last night on the 13th of January. It will be up at some point. This will probably be up first. I've also started doing creative makeup on TikTok. If you fancy following me, you can do. I try to be funny on there as well, so I mean, if you want to follow me for that as well, you can. Right, so I guess that's it. If you want another video, give me some ideas. I always say that I'll make them, then I pop off and disappear for months, but that's because during seasons it's really hard to upload videos. I did try in Cyprus, I think I managed to upload one. Please give me a thumbs up. I would say that they help me a lot, but I honestly don't think they make any difference, but they make a difference to me. Please write a comment, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you later with my Cyprus cup. Woo!